things are going. It's getting ugly. And it's about to get uglier. The reality of it is, you've got contentions everywhere. You've got a powder keg ready to explode. World War III may have already begun. That's the reality of it. We just don't know it yet. Food supply chains going insane. We don't even have to talk about all of that stuff. 25 nations already in the past several months have declared themselves to be insolvent. Sri Lanka has fallen. That's a significant reason. There's something very significant about that happening, right? Southeast Asia feels like it's ready to explode. And at the same time, we're about to walk into what may be one of the most contentious elections that Israel has ever had. From my lips to God's ears, hopefully Bibi's back in, but that's a whole other story, right? Look, I bring all of this up to tell you that I'm not just convinced that we're in the last days. I can promise you we're in the last days. We see evidence of it everywhere. No matter where you turn, things are getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Now, why is that such a big deal, and why is that something I should be bringing up at this current point? Well, I think I should be bringing it up at this current point because no matter where you look, and no matter how you process it, and no matter how you see things, understand that there is a particular way that God is expecting us to act during these last days. There's a series of actions that God wants us to adhere to hold fast to, and we've been going over those as we've been going through 1st and 2nd Timothy and Titus. And then you pause as you get to the end of this book where we are right now, where you just think in your mind, I wonder what must have been going through the mind of the person who was writing the letter that he was writing. And then you go back and you think, what was going through the mind of the person that was actually hearing the contents of that letter or reading the contents of the letter? Well, here's a conclusion that I came to. Times were desperate back then. They were difficult. They certainly were not as unstable as they are today, because certainly I think we're in that time where the Lord is coming back for his church. But make no mistake about it, these people were so close to the time of the ascension of Christ after his resurrection that they were convinced that Christ was coming back at any moment. Paul was certainly convinced of that. But even more importantly than that, Paul knew that he would likely die before Christ came. He knew it. He was literally on the death row of the time. He knew that at any moment he was going to be executed. And so he writes very important words. Now, look, I don't know about you, but from my experience, and I have had many experiences like this, when you talk to somebody who's on their deathbed, they don't want to do small talk, right? They don't want to talk about the sale that's at Best Buy right now for a newer TV. They don't want to talk about where the real estate market is going. They're not really interested in even talking about